Hey, what's going on? I'm Rosie and welcome back to another episode of Tatatown Season 2. We're here for part number 20 today, and today we're going to be sorting out our food situation. As I was looking in the mega base at the fact that our copper pillars are in fact oxidizing, apart from a few which I think are on the process to start their oxidization, something hit me. We are eating fish, which is not a great food source. In fact, it's actually worse than what I thought it was. I thought it did 3 shanks of your hunger, but it does 2.5. And I came over here to realise that we have a decent amount of fish, but we have no pork chops. We have absolutely no steak. We have a raw beef, but I'm not gonna eat that. And then over here we only have a stack and a bit of chicken. And this kind of made me realise that we've been quite lucky so far this season, because whilst we have been pretty good when it comes to food, but not really run out all that much, that has been because I've been taking advantage of mobs spawning more efficiently and effectively to just stockpile. And we are getting to a point where we are going to need to think about what we do for the long term when it comes to food. So for our food situation, we do need a food source that is going to be reliable, but also gives us enough saturation and fill up our hunger points enough. And I could very easily turn to pork chops, but I don't want to have to keep breeding pigs, and because they obviously use carrots, so I don't want to do that one. That one's already eliminated. The fish is just not a reliable food source, so we're not going to be doing that one either. Now we turn to chicken and cows. Now cows has the more saturation and the more hunger. I think chicken also, because they're going to give us feathers, we can make a lot more arrows and things like that. So I think we're going to do 2. I can't do a cow crusher because of the way that is a Java kind of thing because of entity coding and that. So I can't do that, but I can still do a chicken farm. And I think what I'm going to do is potentially automate these, but I'm not all too sure in what I'm going to do just yet though. Now then, the next problem we have is actually where we're going to put this, because we do have a giant auto sugarcane and bamboo farm taking up a lot of the space in this area, and I want to put it in this area because when I've been AFKing for the wool for the beds, I've been digging down around about here and blocking myself in. This has been keeping my crop farm also running, as well as my wool farm, and that will also mean then that these will also be running at the same time. And my logic and my thinking is that what we could do is we can come maybe over here, put the animal farms in this area, which is going to take a little bit of terraforming, has to be said, and then perhaps we could have it right here as 2 separate buildings and they'll both be running. And the reason why I say 2 separate buildings is because right here we have the bridge over to the fishing dock, which, you know, I might do a little bit more. Maybe if we go to that bed and craft table, can put a building there as well. But the main key thing we need to worry about today is what we're going to put in this area. And obviously, how much terraforming would we want to do? Because I haven't built the building around this thing yet, which I'm going to be doing off camera, probably in bits and pieces throughout this episode. But I'm really kind of struggling, because technically we could also put it on this side, and I think this side does maybe need a little bit of love. So I'm kind of crossed really, because like this area just takes a little bit of digging and then patching in this like start to a cave. Over here I need a lot more, but I do technically have the resources to do so. So it's not going to be too much of a problem, I don't think. And then I also do have some redstone pieces here, like redstone dust. I have some powered rail, or some rails in general. I also have some observers, which could potentially come in handy. So some repeaters and some other food that's been lying around whilst I've been making my automated farms over here, which, as said, for my first ever automated set of farms, I've done a pretty good job, has to be said, you know. But then what we need to worry about is actually how we're going to get animals in here. So what I think may actually pay us maybe is to get mini manual farms going and just kind of breed them up, breed cows, breed chickens every so often up in this vicinity before we work out what we're going to do, because there's a strong chance we're going to need quite a few. With chickens, we have eggs. I think I have a decent amount right now. Not too many though, so we have a little bit of an advantage on there. But that will, like I say, it all depends on how we do this. So I'm probably going to do a little bit of research and also think about where we're going to put this thing. I'll be right back once I have actually sorted out what I want to do. As the sun rises, Tatatown looks very different. We're camping out in a village. We have our first showcase farm of the world. Not the first of the series. I have a rabbit currently staring at me. However, I feel grieving. I feel the grief from a world taken from underneath me. Season 2's world no longer exists. This is now Season 2. We are deserted, not really knowing where to go or what to do. Welcome to our new home. I promise we're not going to be here for all too long. Let's quickly make ourselves a bamboo farm, seeing as we have a sugarcane farm, and it was only last episode that we did an automated one. We are reverting back to the good old days where we used to have manual farms. If you don't know what's happened, which you probably won't, basically Season 2's world is now corrupted. It no longer exists in a playable format. I have kept the world in the corrupt data state because the icon for some reason still shows whenever I open up the game, and to me that is quite a good thing. I am really happy that it does that, because if that was not the case, then we probably wouldn't even have that icon to look at. We have 19 episodes worth as well of footage. Well, 19 episodes and 5 minutes worth of footage that you have all seen many a time. However, here we are, in a world very unique, very new, very different to what we are used to. What happened was a power outage. It's corrupted the world, as the bamboo already grows, actually, which is pretty useful. I head into this cave to show you that we did actually find a zombie spawner in our adventures. Pretty useful, not gonna lie. But yes, we have, in fact, lost everything. Everything has been robbed from underneath us. And we have a slime chunk. We have a slime chunk. That's not good. I really should have thought that one through. Let's take this guy on. Get ourselves some slime, and for once we have a slime chunk here that is not a part of Hearts of the Sea. We can actually use it. That guy is stuck though. I'm just gonna leave him be whilst I try and get myself a few extra resources. But yes, Tatatown robbed from underneath us. I don't even have a backup. That's the harsh truth about this situation, is that I don't actually have a backup. Meaning that you are right. There's no way that I could get the world back. A sad moment, it has to be said. A very sad moment indeed. However, I'm just trying to find myself some basic resources, but I'm not actually doing so well. I keep seeing a little bit of iron though, so we will definitely take that with us for our adventures. Where do we go from here now though? Because that's the kind of the big question right now. You know, normally you have one world per series or season, depending on the way you look at it. For me, this is the same season still. I'm not ending the season because of this. We were very close to my rule of it not being deemed a mini-series. So let's continue. Let's keep at it. Let's try and get things back. I've got to be careful because this is in fact my only iron pickaxe and I didn't bring any wood down with me. How stupid of me. How foolish of me. A little bit like to not have a certain or a way of actually having a backup of the world. I didn't have a copy of the world either because I take all my screenshots through the game. Through that world I took them all. Besides one. Which once I'd had it I actually removed it. Foolish decision. Like, I actually want to explore that now. It's bitter. I definitely feel a little bit of a bitter taste in my mouth as I play a world in survival mode that isn't a world that we loved. And our first diamonds have showed up. How many? One is most likely by the looks of things. Lapis has taken over. It's going to be 3 at least. A diamond pickaxe is on the way. That's good. It's really good news. Probably no diamonds for a while though. The way that diamonds generate did get patched, so hopefully we can in fact find some, but we need to look around in order to do this. I really should have brung myself some wood. There is an amount of mineshaft that I could maybe try and get back to if I need it. But where do we go from in this situation? It's quite interesting. I'm going to give myself a target. There we go. It's just what I wanted. The target is 5 episodes. In these 5 episodes, we need to recover as much as we can. We need to get back our starter area and our crops. Maybe even a little bit of automation while we are at it. From there, we can then move on to new things. I think what I want to do... This place is nicely been executed, like, got rid of for me. How lovely. I think though from there, we can kind of go amongst everything, kind of the way we were planning. Mob farms, maybe even an iron farm. 5 episodes, I think we're probably going to spend 2 episodes doing pretty much a recovery, and then we're going to work with villagers for the final one, I think. But the villager building I want is going to be in the starter area. We're going to ship over some villagers that we haven't traded with in the start of it, in the village that we have, which is quite fittingly near spawn, just there awaiting us. But who knows where the world will take us now? Where will it take us next? Who knows? A clean season is all I ask for right now. Like, you know, it's quite a bit of a meme right now that we haven't really had a season that was clean, that didn't really have any sort of disturbance. We're finding dripstone, which is, I guess, pretty cool. I have already, there's some at the base. This place is quite big actually, and more diamond is here. I need to be careful with my durability though. So I'm not going to... And of course, I am going to save these coordinates. I have no real other choice right now. I hear another slime though, so we are entering that slime chunk again. Maybe we could find ourselves that mine shaft. How lovely would that be? I think we may be on the right path up though. I'm not really too sure. I know the cave and I see a slime. Only good news is when you see a slime, is that we are near that mine shaft. Surely we can find ourselves what we need. I'm looking out for it. Trying to find it. I just need 2 sticks. That's all I ask for right now. And a crafting table, that'll be nice as well. I think I'm gonna try and find my way back up. Maybe that is something we should do. And a geode. Another place that we need to look out for where you can hear it. There is in fact some good old slimes in there. I'll have to look through the footage again to try and find that. And maybe even the diamonds, because I don't have a clue where I am right now. I don't know what time it is. The villagers may be being ransacked as we speak. Siege may have spawned. I'm not sure. It's a scary thought. I have a bed on me. Why not think? I could just sleep. My old account is in the nether right now, so that we can do this. So it's not like we have anything to... Not like we have a reason not to. Let's just try and find our way. Another lava pit. Right now, it would be nice if I could just find some sticks, not gonna lie, not a potential lava pit, but actually I kinda wanna go around it. I have no pickaxe to dig my way out. There's nothing even here. This is a little bit of a problem. I don't want to be punching stone. Maybe that's our only option. I keep hearing slime, so that's a positive, at least. But we are so low down that, well, we could honestly be anywhere. And all the hope that came with that. Okay, I'm gonna make a cut. I think let's just get ourselves out of this place. Okay, I am now back. We have mined them diamonds. It's took me a while because I actually went for a drink as well. I need to hydrate, guys. My controller started to play up again, I think. I actually been having this thing. I think it's called controller drift, maybe, or like analog drift. I don't know right now. It's basically where you get like the unwanted movement. I actually researched it, and supposedly it's like dirt that's just got, or like debris that's just got in to the joints. I cleaned it. It didn't work that day, but then the following day it kind of like fixed. It's almost as if it fixed itself, but it seems to be slightly back, which isn't a worry because it's not bad yet. So when it gets bad, I might have to clean it again, or at least look into it. Maybe I'm doing it myself though. Maybe I'm actually doing it by not necessarily. Maybe it's my movement. Maybe I'm being a bit too aggressive for my controller. That is something that could actually be the case. I've kind of been aggressive with things like that before. I mean, like keyboards, when I type on a keyboard, I can be quite loud with it. Although I don't know if that's just because it's a keyboard. My parents seem to think that isn't the case. Some deep slate. Let's just lighten things up now. I keep hearing slime. There's no way I can stop them from spawning, which is... I don't know how I necessarily feel about that. But to make ourselves only 4 more torches. But that is fine. Because we'll find some coal. And as soon as I say that, I find some coal. Maybe I could do a water bucket as well. I'm just staying in the case for a little bit longer. Trying to make sure that I'm safe with everything that I do. I'm gonna try and sleep. Music was recently playing, but it's not. It must be like about midday then. Next time music plays, I think it plays at quite unique times actually. Like maybe you can tell the time through the music. Wonder if that is possible, but that's a discussion for another day. Just trying to find any kind of resource of worth. That's kind of the position I'm now in. Don't want to find myself slacking in terms of resources. I only made an iron pickaxe because I didn't really want to waste any diamonds just yet. However, I think I am gonna have to make myself a diamond pickaxe because I need to get myself a bunch of deep slate. I need to get myself a bunch of cobblestone, andesite, things like that for our starter area, which is going to be very similar to the old world in contents. I did an episode on Barrett Go Guide about the starter area. There's a few things I missed from my, I think I missed a storage depot out, mine, because we kind of already had one in the form of the early days first shelter, but there are things that you kind of need that I didn't necessarily cover in that episode, but I think you can kind of tell this type of things. Oh, nope, drowning, nope, suffocating. Okay, a close call there. Didn't see any of the particle effects, but we live on. We're not going to be beaten that easily. I don't know if there's going to be actually any diamonds around here. I have a feeling there isn't, so I'm not going to continue mining that area out. But yeah, so there's things that I didn't really cover in that you know, we have done. Storage depot. I feel like the storage depot was kind of the thing we did, kind of knowing that we were gonna struggle necessarily when it comes to our storage system we had, which is perfectly fine. You know, we didn't necessarily have to build it, but I think it was actually worth it. I think we were better off because of it, and that is something that I need to definitely focus on potentially. There's a little lag because I'm having to run internet on both devices right now, both my phone and my PS4 are on to make this possible for us, but there's nothing wrong with that. I think I should start mining more iron again. Yeah, you can see there's a little bit of lag, but there's nothing wrong with that. It's not costing us anything, so it's still playable either way. But yeah, like, there is kind of there's a little bit of, you know, things we did that weren't in there we normally wouldn't, but there's also things that we did wrong. I think we didn't do everything to perfection, most notably the mine, which is why I'm holding off on that until we at least are in the starter area. I don't want to build anything just yet. I don't want to make anything that's, you know, it's going to be a little bit difficult for us. But overall, I think, you know, most of the stuff we did in the last start area is going to make it return. Obviously, you know, like, there are things in there that we probably should always be building. That's pretty much self-explanatory. But there are also going to be things, I think, new at some point. I'm considering, you know, we'll have villagers there potentially. I think that would actually be really cool to have. Imagine that, you know, you have villagers, like, oh, villagers are so useful as well, so it's like kind of important. There's a pillar that I made. Yes, we're back around the area that we was. Yeah, I know exactly where I am, which is good. We need to try and find somewhere new. I'm not worried about the dripstone because we already have a bunch of it at the base right now. Try going up here, see if there's anything that we maybe missed. I don't want to go up there. And I got disconnected because my phone turned off. I really need to be careful of this. This is the biggest problem. I've set it to the maximum as well. So let's just quickly log in. I thought I'm going to show this. This is not something I'll always show you, but you know, I want to show this for the first time because yes, we are playing on an online game. The reason my phone is for the backup reasons. At least I know that the power cut isn't going to corrupt the world if it's open. If anything, it's just gonna turn my PlayStation off. Although AFKing is a little bit more difficult, but as a plus to this, what it does mean is custom texture packs. That is right. I can enable custom texture packs. I'm not running any right now. However, I think I'm gonna make a brief cut and head up to surface very, very soon, because I want to go to the starter area, and in that starter area is exactly where I'm going to show you some of the texture packs that we're going to be running. Now, they're going to be these are going to be very subtle for now, and more are going to be added as the season progresses. Well, there's no reason why we're not running Creator Pack right now, because we don't need to. We're not going to be having it on for the rest of the series either. And these little custom texture packs are going to make the world of a difference to making a series more unique, and also making the videos and everything just a little bit more customized to myself. So I'm really looking forward to how this actually goes. I'm not mining a copper, by the way, because we don't need to, and I've just bumped into another cave. It's probably the same one, just from a different exit. And once again, sound of slime. It's quite big over there. But I think, as you can probably hear my stomach, I actually realized when my stomach is like churning away, like when it just happens kind of randomly, you can actually, the mic picks it up. It's weird. So apologies if you can hear my stomach. I actually didn't realize it was picking it up before until I started binge watching my own series, because I was grieving Minecraft World. Another cave in. I think that's where I'm going to leave that. But I think now what I am going to do is try and find a way back up, because I don't think this cave has much more to offer us. However, if I can find my way back to where we was, I just heard a slopping noise. That's weird. Maybe there's an axolotl nearby us making some noise. Would be nice if we have subtitles. And there's the mine shaft. That may explain it. Wait, there's zombies now. That is interesting. Why are zombies taking damage? Well, I know where this place is, so I'm not all too worried about it, but this is certainly interesting. There is actually a lava pool down here, which may explain the dying zombies. Okay, the water nearly pushed me in. Okay, thanks game. Don't think I'm gonna stay down here for all too long. I keep falling into random nooks and crannies because I'm not paying attention. Come on, Rosie, come on, wake up. Let's try and find a way out. This is the way to... Not that one, it's the one below us, I think. No, it's not. We were in the right area, I believe then. Potentially. 'Cause this is the cave. I think it's this one over here, perhaps? Yes, it looks it. And that mine shaft was above us the whole time, so if there was any sort of cave spiders, then we would have heard them already. But I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I'm just gonna mine out around here. I'm curious, is there anything here worth checking out potentially? There's some dripstone. Maybe the dripstone has been filled in this lava lake. Who knows? You see the jittery movement again. Coming back. 4 more. But it's not anything to be too worried about just yet. I think maybe a little bit of a clean on the controller front could take care of that, but it looks like there's nothing here. It's just a bunch of dripstone. And with that in mind, I am going to head up to surface. I'm going to keep a little bit of durability. It wasn't as much of a successful trip, however I wasn't really mining anything, so there's still potentially a lot of good valuables within this place, and the controller movement sort of helped me out there by turning me in the right direction. However, I have a feeling that we're not that movement is not over just yet. I feel like maybe we are going to find it coming back for more. Maybe I should have smelted some iron, made a bit of a bucket, but oh well. We could do that when we're at the surface, which would be some help for the future. But now where? This is a really juicy cave though. I'm actually really happy we found this. Now we just have to find a way out. But I'm gonna do this in a brief cut. I don't want to keep you waiting around. Just for me to be basically wandering around at the end of a cave, not really knowing where I am. So I'll be right back. Here we are. I'm on top of a savanna hill at the surface. And no, I did not actually dig up to this. It'd be pretty crazy. This is our new home. Yes, the acacia mountain inside of an acacia forest is gonna be our new home, and it's weird. I've never built in the acacia forest before actually, so this is gonna be a unique experience. But we are gonna be covering the whole thing in moss, so you're not really gonna know, and the trees are not gonna be acacia that we have in here. We're not even building with acacia. I'm gonna use that for our sticks or anything like that. But this is the view we're gonna be overlooking. We'll have some buildings down there. We'll have some buildings up here as well. So probably a potentially fruitful cave there as well. I don't know what to do in the mesa just yet. And then obviously you can see there a jungle temple right in there somewhere. We'll have our industry district as well. This is going to be a unique challenge. I have not built in these biomes all that much. I mean, the jungle I built in recently was Season 1's world, and we're going to be doing that again. Our spawn is in the jungle. The mesa I haven't built in since 2016, when I think it only just come out for console edition, PS4, not having it all that long at that time. When we got the 1.7 update, it was a server of an old friend of mine called the server Creative Craft. I built in there in one of the mesa mountains, but that is a story to tell for another day. This is our new home, effectively. I will actually be going on to the design world I have for this place and explaining over everything. However, I want to go on a bit of a journey. I want to raid a jungle temple. I have not raided a jungle temple in years. Funnily enough, they used to be a lot more common because jungles were a lot more common, and all I can hear is mobs. Not a good sign. I have a feeling this place is riddled with mobs, potentially as far as creepers go. Who knows? They've gone quiet now I've said something. So if there is, we've got to be very, very careful. I have a feeling that they're not actually in this place. The saddle will go a long way. We can also actually raid this thing as well. Let's take out the arrows that come in these. We have a strengthened as well. It looks like cursed vine. More arrows there. Now let's see what is in here. Apart from a redstone circuit, bones, and some iron. How unfortunate. However, I will remember this place. This place may bring us some pretty good resources in the future, but our home will be on top of this mountain right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the world right now, and I'm going to show you what it all looks like. And here we are. Take a look at this. for a starter area. I'm really happy with this. This is obviously my current design. I've still got a few things left to see. I've not done anything in the ocean there just yet, but let's land and I'll go over everything here first. We will land just next to it. This is where our custom shop is going to be. It also looks like the glowing got fixed in an update. This happened before the new update came out as well, before I actually updated it, so I'm not sure necessarily when. Maybe it was the update just before. Over here we have our flower building, which is going to be also another permanent building we can come to. We have our little storage depot, which will be filled up obviously as time goes on. And then over here we have our starter house. It looks very unique. I forgot a lantern there though. This map may not actually be here in the final version, but you kind of see the area we have taken over. Once again, all these chests are not going to be here. And then inside here we have our regular furnaces, craft table and all that. And then we have actually a bunch of chests for our storage. And then up here we have the enchanting table and some excess storage, mainly for enchanting stuff, really, like, you know, tools and armor, lapis and all that. Then we have this little path down here. I'm probably going to terraform around this area. That cave has nothing in, which is why I've lit it up. And then here is the mine building. We have some blast furnaces, our storage. We have a bubble elevator, and this obviously is going to go down with just a 1 block of water to stop people from dying. The bubble elevator may be a little bit of a far-fetched though, just right now. Might end up being a ladder for a while. We have some sugarcane here just to kind of grow some before we actually make our automatic farms. Over here we have a wheat field. We have more of these kind of things in this area though for different crops. And then down here we'd have probably a boat dock. I've just not actually designed it yet, but it's going to be in this area. No geodes here, sadly. And then we have our nether portal, fully decorated. Kind of reminds me of Empires, the old corruption. Actually, there's some raw copper in it. It seems to work kind of really well, though. Kind of reminds me of the nether wastes, and then like the nether rack. Actually, very similar with some of the dots of the what's it called? Warped forest, I think it is. I think that is where that the blue end and the endermen are. And then the further you go through, the more it kind of takes over. Got a bit of glowstone as well. That is going to take a little though before we actually get that. And obviously the pool size has been scaled to allow it to look a little bit nicer. But yeah, this is the world. This is the starter area. This is all I've designed so far. This is actually the copy of the world that I started off with. I've designed all this before I even created the world on my phone. This is actually on my PlayStation. I have backups for it. I don't really know necessarily when it comes to custom text back stuff how I'm going to design that. Maybe I'll have that on my phone as a separate world. But yeah, this is everything kind of designed. Certain things are going to change at the variation, maybe slightly different. I'm not going to replicate everything block by block on that front, of course, but I know some of these trees obviously might not make it in, and the placement that they're in may also change, but overall I'm really happy with this. I really like this, but now it's actually time to get back onto the world because I have something special that I actually want to show you, which I think you might actually like. So let's get right into it. And here we are with a new look, has to be said. Doesn't everything look nicer and like Java? As you can already tell, I have Java UI as a texture pack on. I also have some pink arms. I had to try to enable Rainbow XP, which is also one I use on the Bedrock Girl Guide, but it only is doing it to the orbs because of the Java UI, I believe. What I was going to do hasn't worked. However, things look a little bit vibrant maybe as well. I don't know, it doesn't like it's maybe changed all too much. Although that again, that area hasn't actually been affected by anything just yet. I don't even have anything going over the items as well. You can kind of see things look a little bit more cleaner. I think Java UI does go a long way to making the game look a little bit nicer. And we do have in fact the pink arts as well from then. However, shall we get ourselves a parrot and then end off the episode. And so far, Seed's luck hasn't been the best, is it? But now it's starting to come a little bit better. How many seeds do we have? Will 5 be enough? Let's find out. Let's find that parrot is all the way up there. Come on down, Mr. Parrot. I have a treat for you. Come on down. You do not want to come down, do you? Sadly, it doesn't look like it. Shall we try to find another parrot? Maybe that is possible. Oh, we come up here. Aha! I can get you now, Mr. Parrot. I have you a gift. There we go. Our first parrot friend is now on my shoulder. How adorable is that? And when I take damage, he comes off my shoulder. But that is okay, because what I can do is I can hopefully push him back onto me like that. He's looking down at me. How adorable. We'll get him to come over here, perhaps. I mean, just follow us. Just for a little bit. Just for a little while. Holding the thing seems like it's sped him up a bit. We'll have to get him a companion. I hear skeletons and spiders, so I'm not all too actually bothered about it. There we go. He's got my shoulder. Hey, mate. I want to get you to sit down. Once you land, please land for your own safety, as I'm hearing mobs. I do not like the sound of that spider right there. How about that? We bump into the thing causing so much racket. I have no lineup just yet, but that is going to do it for today. I feel like we've covered a lot. It's been a very eventful episode, or last 2 episodes actually. Who would have thought that my love for sugarcane in this game would be how our last world ended? Who would have thought it? But anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, I will be seeing you.